All right. I'm sorry I had to leave you. But, I take care of a 92-year-old mother, and she was down there hollering about something, so I had to go check on her. This is live, folks. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people really get aggravated that I don't edit all this stuff. But this is live. This is what my life is like. And you know what? It's probably a lot like what your life is like. So let's not try to fool one another and thinking that everything's perfect. I just had to let go for a minute and go down there and... All right, I'm putting the hat on him, as you can see. And we do a lot of stuff here. I do want to thank everybody for their prayers and situation down here. This was a very volatile situation, very dangerous situation. How no one got killed, it's only by the grace of God that no one was killed. This was a major explosion, and God just kept anyone from getting hurt. I mean, fatally is what I mean. Some people were hurt, but fatally. Because of this explosion. And not only just one, but two explosions that rocked this area. Two. But God is a good God. I know that a lot of people out there may not believe in the Lord Jesus Christ like I do, but I've had a lot of misery in my life. And God is a wonderful and precious God who loves us. He doesn't always give us what we want, but He loves us. We love our children, don't always give them all they want either. All right. Not going to be very hard to do him. Two little figures for this little simple Christmas scene. As I say again, if you are a brand new carver, do not attempt to... and we take it and we just come from the arms back and come up here like this. Do not attempt to do miniature work because it is so close to the hands. I've been doing this for a long time. So and you just sort of always remember about carving, folks. I've watched some people on YouTube that have just started carving, and every time they carve something else, they get better and better, and that's the whole key to it. The key is you have to practice. I talked to a carver up in Branson who they did a class one time up there, Mr. Harley Smitten. I believe that's the way, or Smidgen, and he said that they taught a man to carve, and they met him later. About a year later, he came to it again. And the guy said, well, have you enjoyed carving? He said, well, my tools aren't very sharp anymore. And they found out he hadn't even continued with the carving. So, I mean, if you're going to carve, folks, they're separating the shoes from the pants. We've done so many times, it's just a line. You got to practice. You cannot expect to learn, and I watched people just as they continued on and practiced and did it, and they got better with each time, and that's a joy to watch that. But Okay. What I'm going to do on this situation is I'm just going to bring the coat down like this. And cut into here. And cut in this here. And cut inside here and bring this like this. Like everything else that you do in life, there is no such thing as instant success, folks. Unless you just inherit a bunch of money from somebody. Maybe that's instant. But most people have to work hard or learn from experience. I know as a operator out at the plant, when I first went out there, I was green. I didn't know nothing about operations. I didn't know nothing about nothing. And over the years, I learned. I became experienced. I became a cogeneration expert. Cogeneration units. And when I say expert, I mean I had a lot of knowledge about it. They considered me one. So I'm just telling you that you learn by doing. And the problem is you never stop learning, to be honest with you. I was even learning things when I left out there. When I retired. You learn a lot of things. Some good, some bad, but that's how you learn. But are you dedicated? Same thing in marriage, same thing as anything. Are you willing to go the whole 9 yards? And unfortunately, in most people's lives today, they don't want to. I don't know what the situation is or what the problem is, but people want to give up pretty quick. I'll tell you a little secret. We've been going through some... All right, and I just made the coat. All I did was take that out, and I'm just going to make the pants here. My son went through a divorce about a year ago. His wife decided she wanted to be with another man, and so she married that man. She was running around my son with 4.5 months ago, and my son just informed me that the marriage is already over. So I'm just telling you, I don't know what's wrong with people today, but I do know this: people don't want to commit themselves to things, and when you carve, when you're in carving, you've got to commit yourself to practice. That's all there is to it. If you don't want to practice, then you can have fun, but I'm just saying you got to practice. I've practiced a lot in my life. That's why I learned to carve. And you got to do it, you got to practice, and you got to be committed to it. That's what you have to do. It's just like in anything else in life. Unfortunately, a lot of people today are not committed to doing anything, but just going through the honeymoon period, and then, well, it's over after that. I don't want to do this. So I didn't grow up in an era like that. I grew up in an era where my dad and them they were committed to doing things, taking care of us, doing those things. All right. Here we go. Just kind of open the coat like that just a little bit. Now let's go ahead and work on the hat here. Now this is all going to have to come up like just this. And we just take this and we just come down a little bit with a brim, and we just cut away like that all the way around. A lot of people don't like to hear my stories, and that's fine too. But I want to be, as much as possible, a friend to people, as a just a and it's like God. He's a friend to me. He's not just, he's a wonderful friend to me. And we just kind of go like that. And we continue to go around taking parts off of it. You want to be real careful, because your fingers are very close to the are very close to the thing. So you want to take very small slivers off at one time. You don't want to take a whole lot off at one time, because when you do that, you mess up. You get yourself in trouble, and we don't want you to get yourself in trouble. Take off some. You just barely go around it. Continue to take it all. Take off a little bit at a time. And do not rush yourself, okay? Please. Be very careful. And safety first. See that? We're slowly working. Slowly working where our piece. And these are very small figures, so you want to be careful not to get in a hurry, please. One of the things I learned about wood carving is it takes patience. It's not a fast thing. It's not a video game. It's not over in 5 minutes. It takes some time. There we go. And it takes some work. So I've told people a lot. If you want to learn to carve, then just understand it's not a process that you can do just real quick. It's a process that takes some time. And as you can see, the little small cuts I'm making on the hat. Is a purpose. And that. But you can see how I try to get up underneath here so that the hat looks like it's sitting on the head. and not just, as you can see, there we go. We're getting this good shape here. This brim on a small figure like this is very, very fragile. So you don't want to try to take too much off at one time. As you see, I'm just barely taking stuff off as I go along. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm not going to add ears to this guy. I'm just going to cut and just put his hair right in there. Doesn't really matter, as I did to the other one. And this small figures also require your vision to be pretty good shape, or you want to have good light if you possibly can, because you're going to be getting in some very if you have one of those things with the magnifying glass on it, use it so you can see your. Okay, I just sort of cut the hair in there, and I'll cut back on that. Alright, and then I'm going to kind of go this like this so I can go ahead and put my nose in here. Let me get my pencil. See what we're looking at here? See this fella? Alright. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. Let me cut a little bit up here to get this nose in the shape here on both sides. And I'll make a little place here for my nose. Across there. The thing about these little figures is the main thing is seen. And I should really myself wear magnifying glasses. I don't. I should, so that I can see it so much better. I guess I've carved so many of them I just don't do it. But it's not a bad idea to get to get you some of those magnifying glasses and use them to okay. Now this is work that's really going to be hard for you to see because I'm making the nose in here. It's really, really difficult to get in there and really see that because this is such a small figure. When they're that small, it's really hard to see where the nose and I cut the age lines on the side of it. Remember, I can't show you every cut. There's just no way. I can't show you everything that I'm doing here. You can go back to many of my videos, my larger figures, and see exactly how I do the face. But this is just small stuff. This is tiny, tiny, tiny stuff that I'm doing. This is tiny stuff. All right. Okay, now you see, let me make the mouth across here. Right there. I'll probably possibly put a cigar in his mouth. I'm not sure yet. I'm not really concerned about that right now. Let me kind of thin up these arms.